So just for reference, the video I'm using for this breakdown on YouTube is by WWE themselves. They posted full segment. CM Punk comes face to face with Rollins. All right. This is the segment on Monday Night Raw where CM Punk officially decided to join the Raw brand. And if you guys haven't seen my more recent CM Punk breakdowns, I've basically, sat here and I basically sit here, and watch the promo on YouTube and kind of pause and break down and overanalyze the message that he's trying to send across, what he may be referring to, and the way that I see it in my point of view. All right, so we're kicking things off right now in this video with CM Punk coming in, doing his whole little shtick, staring into the crowd. Everyone is obviously giving him a roaring reaction. Cleveland was very, very loud. He's looking back at the stage now, and he's not doing the clobbering time. He's just, he means business. He's coming out to sign the contract. We all know what show he was going to end up picking. He was going to end up picking Monday Night Raw, and I'll tell you why. Because SmackDown right now, 2-hour show, is too overstacked. They got too many people on SmackDown. There's no need to have him on SmackDown. And he's too hot right now to have him on NXT for more than just a special appearance, right? Having him in NXT and not putting him on the 3-hour show Monday Night Raw that could be a snooze fest for some, would be a missed opportunity. Now, do I think that he belongs in NXT at some point in time? Yeah. Behind the scenes, working with Shawn Michaels, William Regal into the future to mold the future generation. But he's not there yet. He's not there yet. He has more to say in this form of entertainment, right? And you could see it in his face, this passion, this joy that he has to be back home, to be back in WWE. I do see that passion. I do see that joy in his face. Him saying I'm home and cheesing over it, I think is intentional. And that's what they're going to be using as the foundation of this story, which if you saw the Seth Rollins promo, you already know what he said. And we'll get into it when that moment comes up again in this video. So as of this moment, I'm about 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the segment with CM Punk on Monday Night Raw, December 11th, 2023. Exactly, since it's not his home. So he's talking about his mood. He's talking about all the signs. He's talking about all the people. And he's utilizing that energy and the crowd reaction as how he's being uplifted by us now, right? He's kind of like he's playing into everything. That's what he's doing here. Haven't you noticed that they keep beating into the ground? I'm back for you. I'm back home. I'm back where I belong. He's going against the narrative that everyone online is pushing forward with the AEW stuff, the controversial stuff, the locker room heat, and the hateful. Look at all the backstage segments that they've shown. He met Drew McIntyre. He came across Kevin Owens. All people that have voiced their frustration or that have shared at one point in time in interviews that they don't care for the guy. I mean, CM Punk on SmackDown referenced Roman Reigns. So believe it when I'm saying this is because it's tied into something each time. They are playing into real life and they are working the crowd. That's just the way I see it. This is a masterful storyline. He goes, I have a huge decision to make. And then he takes a step back and says, we have a huge decision to make, to include the crowd. CM Punk, when he was a face in WWE in the past, yeah, he gave credit to the crowd. He gave credit to being the voice of the voiceless. But when has he ever pandered to the crowd this much? Like excessively, like John Cena level. Like The Rock, when he's come back and he's trying to be the big face, the baby face, if you will. When have we seen CM Punk do this? I mean, for me, more recently, obviously, I remember the stuff in AEW. He did that in AEW quite a bit. but it was him just being Phil Brooks and kind of trying to, get back into the groove. And then every time he had a storyline with a guy like MJF, they called him out for it. I want the real CM Punk. I don't want Phil Brooks, So he's going along with this. It's kind of like resetting the character in WWE, in that universe, in that world. So trying to include people in the decision, and he's talking about he's thinking about it all week, and that we have the decision to make. The reason I've been so look at him. The reason I've been so consumed and worried about it is because I love you guys. Like, I'm not saying he's lying. Obviously, he loves the fans. He loves the reception. Who doesn't? That's why he's back. Realistically, he doesn't need to wrestle anymore. So he is doing it for the fans to a degree, but like beating this storyline into the ground the way he is definitely intentional. Look at him smile, and he kind of pauses. The truth is, this town, and and then he goes into talking about Cleveland. That's kind of self-explanatory. He goes into saying how he's lost in Cleveland the title. He debuted, and he got sent to OVW. He's kind of touching base on things that typically wouldn't be said in WWE programming, going back to the pipe bomb moment. Remember the pipe bomb moment? Everybody loved it because it was edgy, because it felt raw and real. And he's brought that in these little tidbits that we've seen in WWE so far. So I was saying this on stream as I was watching. I think it's crazy. Full circle, 10 years later, we have CM Punk standing in Cleveland, where he walked out, where he lost, many times, even in UFC, right? I mean, it's just mind-blowing that he ends up coming back to finally have a positive moment in his legacy and his historic career, where he signs exclusively to Monday Night Raw. So it was a story that wrote itself. Self-explanatory. I'm just giving them props for capitalizing on the moment. There's a lot of ghosts. I'm doing my best to face them head on. That shit is hilarious. So, he talks about his disappointment, debuting, getting sent to OVW, and it's to get us comfortable, to get us into what it's all gonna lead to, which is Seth Rollins. And he's talking about him embracing being uncomfortable in OVW, and then when he was in WWE, he didn't know what to expect. But when he came back to Cleveland, he was world champ, got punted by Randy, yada yada yada. Yeah, we get it. Let's skip ahead. We know that. So he couldn't compete. It's him reminding us what WWE was like at that point in time. It's him reminding us the shit he had to put up with during that time. Byron says, I'm analyzing the crowd reaction. It sounds like the crowds would not have a problem with him winning the championship. Oh, for sure. And look at him voicing here. I'm not here to go into the details. A lot of that is in my rear view mirror. I'm here focused on the future and what's ahead. I'm focused on the now. Everyone here in this building today, that's the message with this new revitalized CM Punk. What does this CM Punk have to offer us now? And it's the fact that he's still edgy. He still calls it how he sees it. He's still annoyed, but not bitter, by what had happened. And he's ready to put his money where his mouth is. He's back. And I love it. I love the choice of words here, because I say this all the time on YouTube when I refer to the machine. He said, I had to remove myself from the hamster wheel. I had to make the hardest decision of my life. I don't regret it. I don't look back. I was always that part of me that wondered if anybody paid to see CM Punk that day. I walked out of Cleveland. If they were disappointed, he wondered. And crowd was mid. I would have been going crazy. Nah, the crowd wasn't mid. Not during the CM Punk stuff and during the main event and stuff. I thought the Raw crowd tonight was pretty good when it needed to be. You know, he brings up Indy Hartwell. I like that he names drop up and coming young talent, you know, especially that she's been on the main roster a little bit now. And he's here to kind of patch things up for those out there that are still bitter with the fact that CM Punk left and that, you know, want to call him fragile or whatnot. He's here to let us know that, he's pretty much sorry for what he did. He's apologizing for his decision. It is what it is. I mean, Stone Cold did it, and others have done it, and we forgave them. And this is one of those moments where we're forgiving his character and we're forgiving the person behind the character. This is him putting his demons to rest and literally trying to open a new chapter. And you know what's crazy about all of this is that the future is so unpredictable here. We don't know what's going to happen next at all. We don't know if this is all an act and this is the mood he's in now. How is he going to feel in January when they feed him the news that he's going to have to go and perform and do this, that, or the other? Like, what version of CM Punk are we going to get going forward into the future? I'm just focused on now, honestly, like what he said, and I'm just going to enjoy what we're getting as long as we can. I'm going to cherish these moments, and that's why I'm breaking down these promos. I'm loving it because I know that this guy has a chip on his shoulder. He's here for a reason, and I want to hear him out. I want to see what he has left in the tank. I think he's the clear-cut favorite, yeah. It'll be a top-tier Rumble, Levi. I agree. This Rumble's going to be insane. So if you're here now, if you're watching at home, and you're disappointed that CM Punk walked out, I understand. And hell, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. You know, he referenced how he felt when he saw Roddy Piper appear on WCW. So why would he bring up Roddy Piper, another controversial figure that stirred the pot in WWE? And why would he bring up WCW? Listen to what he's saying. He's using that as an analogy for what he did and his move, walking out and also returning to AEW, appearing in another company. He's clearly using that as the base of, you know, I did that, I disappointed you, I apologize, but let's move forward. Not that he needed to say what he said here. This is probably something that he should have said last time he was on Monday Night Raw, right? But again, this is all building up towards his decision, which ultimately was already made. There was no better brand for him to join than Raw with the 3 hours, with the possibility of facing Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins needing another great opponent, because after Shinsuke and some of the things Seth Rollins has been put through, we really didn't know what was going to happen with him. So now that CM Punk is here in the mix and Randy was able to get moved to SmackDown, it gives Roman Reigns something to do after LA Knight, and it gives Seth Rollins something to look forward to with CM Punk. It's crazy. So he's looking at the camera, genuine message there. I feel it. The energy is right. I've gone to SmackDown. I've listened to the offers. I listened to what Nick Aldis has to say. He talks about hanging out with HBK. Happy holidays, Billy. How's it going? You know, he talks about listening to NXT, hearing the Crown. And it's funny, listen to what he said about Shawn Michaels. Him talking about Shawn Michaels, saying that he got an offer to help mold the next generation. Like, kind of playing into like what can ultimately be possible in the future. So then he talks about Adam Pearce and having his offer being the best. Your best friend's son just passed away. Oh, man, I'm so sorry to hear. Wow, Billy. Hang in there, man. My condolences, and try to be there for your best friend now more than ever. They're sure going to need you. But we're here to, get away from, the crazy stuff happening in life. And it's kind of hard for me to bounce back from that and continue breaking down this promo, a fictional story here. But, I'm sorry to hear. I'm really sorry to hear, Billy. Just try to be there for your friend and hang in there as best as you can. If he's your best friend, I'm sure you're really close. So I'm so sorry for your loss, especially your friend. But try to use this moment as a distraction. We're here talking about CM Punk. Join in on the conversation. And if there's anyone watching that would send some praying hands to Billy, I would greatly appreciate it. So let's get into this here. I'm here to right a few wrongs. My future starts now. So he, in Cleveland, after everything Punk has been through in Cleveland, all the setbacks, all the downfalls, walking out, losing, he wanted to right that wrong and have a good memory in this arena for once. And he's signing to Monday Night Raw. He's like a brother. Happy CM Punk is back. And this is CM Punk right here in this moment in time in the promo. He takes a step back and he's like, you couldn't write a better television show. 10 years, almost 10 years to the day, CM Punk walked out. Here comes the energy. Regardless on how you feel about it, CM Punk walks right back in, and he has that fire in his eyes. He has that fierce look. If you're happy about it, if you're mad about it, you better learn to love it. Because congratulations, Adam Pearce. And Adam Pearce just... the newest Raw I'm sorry, tongue twister. The newest Raw superstar is named CM Punk. Boom, handshake, signs the deal, and guess who comes out, guys? CM Punk, as he's chanting at the turnbuckle, best in the world, gets interrupted by Seth freaking Rollins. At this point in time, I'm a little over 8 minutes, and we're just halfway done with the segment. Rollins masterfully interrupts CM Punk during that moment where he's saying best in the world. That's what this is all about here, guys. That competitive energy. Beautiful. And the crowd, I don't know. You're saying that the crowd reaction wasn't there, but I disagree. The crowd blew up and started chanting for CM Punk when they had to, and they also started doing the serenade for Seth Rollins. And CM Punk's reaction, he kind of like slowly, I'm looking at it here, he licks his lips, and that turnaround where he gets interrupted is guys, it's just perfect. This is what we live for as wrestling fans. These are the moments we yearn for. This is what makes us love this like we're little kids. We're grown men, and these are the moments that drives us crazy, because these performers, guys like CM Punk, Seth Rollins, who are indeed the best in what they do in the world, they really know how to deliver. And Seth Rollins tosses the glasses to the crowd. He means business. He's serious. He's working with this outfit here with the black long sleeve, the purple blazer with the purple pants shining through and through. I love it. He's not pandering to the crowd. He's just locked in on CM Punk. And CM Punk is just, kind of just waiting for him to see what the hell's going on. Adam Pearce is confused. He doesn't know what to do. He's telling them no, hey, and they're just doing the face off like this is WWE teasing what's to come. And I'll tell you, When I saw it for the first time earlier tonight, when I went back and rewatched it on stream, even right now, rewatching it for this segment, I am filled with not just joy and hype, guys. Like, this is just pure excitement because this match is the perfect storm, literally. So we're about to reach the 10-minute marker in the segment. Seth Rollins standing tall, making sure we all see that he is taller and he is the bigger person here. And he has his title around his waist. And they're just locked, bro. Locked. This reminds me, guys, this reminds me, and I hate to be that dude because I hate when people bring up legends from the past. But this reminds me of like when The Rock and Stone Cold had the stare downs, or Triple H had so many stare downs when he became the enemy with Shawn Michaels when they were breaking up, or you know, The Undertaker, his stare downs with HBK. That's the level of stare down here. It's piercing, it's emotional, it's freaking real here. I'll never forget seeing HBK and Shawn Michaels stare down at each other, fighting for their careers, fighting for relevancy, because HBK wanted to prove that he could still go, that he was still Mr. WrestleMania, and he had to beat Undertaker's streak. He was obsessed with beating the Undertaker streak, and same goes for Rollins, who is piercing through CM Punk, because he wants to defend his home. He wants to get this guy out of town because he doesn't like CM Punk. Message is clear. It's real. We've heard about this. The best part is that they talked about all this shit when they were outside of WWE, right? Seth Rollins was already asked about CM Punk when CM Punk wasn't AEW and when CM Punk wasn't even wrestling anymore. CM Punk was asked about WWE plenty of times. He talked crap about WWE plenty of times. So this was a long time coming, and I know for every fan that was hurt, every fan that was pissed off, this is going to be one of those feuds that will mark, you know, the history books for wrestling fans. Why? Because of everything that freaking Seth Rollins went off and said. So CM Punk is just standing back. He crosses his arms. He's kind of getting ready. He's giving Seth Rollins a time of day. Welcome to Monday Night Rollins. So all this time that I was talking, they were staring down at each other. Seth Rollins finally grabbed the mic. I hope you know how incredibly fortunate you are to even be standing in this ring right now. But can you just do me one little favor? One thing, please. Don't you dare call this place your home. And that's the sticking point here, guys. I said it earlier. I talked about it last week. He keeps mentioning my home. I'm back. I'm home. I'm happy to be home. And Seth Rollins brings it up right away. The hypocrisy. He brings it up immediately. Because CM Punk did bash WWE a lot. A lot. So this is crazy. That's why CM Punk is wearing that shirt. Hell froze over. Everything is tying up here, guys. Everything. You abandoned this place 10 years ago. Not only did you abandon it, but you actively tried to tear it down. You spent 10 years slandering me, slandering every single person back in that locker room. And then you want to walk back in here and call this place your home? This is not your home. This is my home. Boom. Let's pause it right there. Oh my God. So much energy from Seth Rollins. This is not him laughing and dancing and, you know, the little giggly, jiggly. This is real. This is real. This means something to him. It's not just like on a competitive level. This is CM Punk, you know, getting, you know, you know, what he gave out, that energy that CM Punk gave out when he wasn't there, that energy that CM Punk dished out, he's now on the receiving end of it. And this is kind of like real life playing into it. It really is. This is what so many fans online felt. This is what pissed so many people off. So Seth Rollins is speaking for the fans. Exactly, VJ. Punk really ripped into WWE on Colt Cabana's podcast and AEW's interviews and just everything that he ever did outside of WWE. So Seth Rollins saying this doesn't even come close. This is Seth Rollins protecting his home in story and just in general. And that's what makes this feud so legit and once in a lifetime. Because real life had something to do with this. And they're playing into it and going along with it. And if there was ever a real fight that needed to happen within WWE, this was it. And I'm here to see it. So at this point, we're about 13 minutes into the segments out of 18. And the crowd is serenading him. And then he's like, I've been here. Everybody in the back, those are my brothers and sisters. Everybody here, everybody watching at home. Look at how they keep going to the camera at home, at the turnbuckle. Seth Rollins just stared and pointed. CM Punk did that earlier. They know what this means to the people watching, guys. They know that. And it's fascinating to see them capitalize and maximize the opportunity. The real life storylines make some of the best stories. Exactly. That's what's captivating here, VJ. These are my people. This is my family. This is our home. I will do everything within my power to protect it from people like you. And CM Punk is just like, just looking at him like, all right, bud. What else is CM Punk gonna do? What else is CM Punk gonna say? A lot of the stuff that CM Punk shared in the past was from his point of view, yes, but it's his reality, And what Seth Rollins is sharing right now is from his reality, from his point of view. No one is really wrong here when you come and think about it. Well, CM Punk maybe a little bit because he did get a little disrespectful. He was a little much. He could have been a little bit more professional, but again, it's what he lived through and how he felt. So Seth Rollins says, let me make this perfectly clear. I don't want there to be any confusion. I know I'm a little worked up. I want everybody to understand. I'm going to say it plainly. With every fiber in my being, I hate you. And that's when CM Punk goes down and Seth Rollins is just fired up, bro. He's fired up. But if you're going to be a part of WWE again, then I want you on Monday Night Raw. Of course he does, because this is the best thing going on right now. Truth always comes out, pal. Truth always comes out. I know you know, everybody knows. This is your last chance. There's a lot of truth to that. One of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to expose yourself, you're going to self-destruct like you always do, and I'll be the first person in the back to slam the door shut on your legacy. He did it in AEW in a way. Things happened. I know. Things happen. It's not all his fault. I get it. But they still happen. And that's what CM Punk has to hear ultimately, because it's just the shit that went down when he left in Cleveland, where he walked out so many years ago, and the fight and the firing from AEW that happened just a couple months ago. Seth Rollins wants to be the gatekeeper. He's taking it upon himself to fire on all cylinders. We don't know what Roman Reigns is going to say. Roman Reigns is coming back on SmackDown. We're gonna want to listen and tune into Roman Reigns. But Yeah, Seth Rollins is going to be the face and the voice for the people that feels like CM Punk wronged them. Proving that he's a well-worthy leader too. Not being afraid to step up. And then he goes on to say, or by some miracle, you have changed. And you've got any gas left in this old little tank. Maybe one day you'll be lucky enough to stand across the ring from me in a World Heavyweight Championship match. And then I will expose you for the fraud that you are. Because remember, guys, the motto that CM Punk has always ran with, I'm the best in the world. He mentioned it in his first promo back. He mentioned it on SmackDown. He mentioned it tonight. Even though CM Punk is not the champion right now, he will always be associated with that catchphrase, and that sells itself in any feud. If CM Punk knew what that catchphrase would do for him in his career back then, I'm sure he would have done it times 10 and a lot sooner. But it took some time for him to get there, and once he got there, he started proving everyone wrong, and he could finally create that slogan and call it his own. And thanks to that, like The Rock calling himself the People's Champ, it's the same thing. It has that, organic feel to it, where it feels not just original, but real, because CM Punk truly believes it, and he lives by that code. So everyone wants to tear that code down, and they want to, prove that they're better. So Seth Rollins is almost, he's defending his title, but he's also fighting for that title as well. I will show you that there are levels to this. I will wrestle circles around you, and I will let you understand in real time what it means to be the best in the world. Because this ain't Seth Rollins from The Shield. This ain't Seth Rollins of old. This is main event Seth Rollins. And CM Punk is like, damn, this guy cooked. CM Punk looks like doing the Robert De Niro face. Okay. So now he goes back. He's like, all right. He goes back and grabs the mic. Now he's grabbing the mic. Looks at the crowd real quick. All right. Now it's my turn. Are you done? That's what he first says. Are you done? That's your one pass. To stand here and speak to me, disrespect. That's your one pass to speak to me disrespectfully without me coming after you. And Seth Rollins laughs. He smiles. I have never asked for anything to be handed to me. I've always done things stubbornly the hard way. I'm here to do that. Adam Pearce, where you at? We're making things official. Might as well make it official. CM Punk is entering the Royal Rumble. And when CM Punk wins, maybe, Seth, it's you he's coming after. And drops the mic. And Seth Rollins is just looking at him walk. And blinks. Turns his head. And they hit his music. And CM Punk just wipes his hand. There's only one best in the world. That's what it's all about, guys. Story writes itself. There wasn't much to break down here, if I'm honest. I did want to go over it piece by piece, play by play with you guys. But in all reality, this story writes itself. There's nothing here to decipher today other than there's real disdain here from Seth Rollins. And there's a lot of truth behind every word. Amazing. Amazing. Great job by WWE giving these guys that time. And for CM Punk and Seth Rollins to come to terms, because let's be real here for a second. Let's be adults here for a second. This is, produced and scripted and created, and I'm all for it. I love that Seth Rollins is a professional despite how he may feel about CM Punk, and that he is able to work with CM Punk to finally main event WrestleMania in this manner. This is must-see television, ladies and gentlemen. I said it once, I'll say it again and again and again. Strap up, we're in for a treat. CM Punk is back, and this is going to be a run that we will never, ever forget. This is just the third promo, and it's been all phenomenal, in my opinion. Not that the first one wasn't cut short, not that the first one could have been better, but truth of the matter is, CM Punk has delivered with the time he's had. Hit me up in the comment section. How are you guys feeling about CM Punk's return? How do you feel about his encounter with Seth? For me, 10 out of 10. Obviously,